Alright, let's go ahead and do part 3, and in this one we're going to create a multiple choice question in which you can have multiple selections. So a great example for this would be differential diagnosis. So I'm going to, let's say, I may go ahead and quickly add another section, differential diagnosis. Okay, I'm going to add that section. So now I have a differential diagnosis section. I'm going to add a question there, and I'm going to do a multiple choice with multiple selections. So maybe we have an opening scenario, and I'm not going to say what that is right now, but let's just say there was a scenario, and then pick. So based on the pathophysiology, which two conditions are the likely, for lack of a better term, maybe that's not the best way to write the answer, but what are the two most likely culprits? Again, we're going to have, maybe this is a 2-point question, and I have hypertension, tachycardia, mitral valve prolapse, and I can have bradycardia, for example. So let's say the best two are tachycardia and mitral valve prolapse. Again, let's be BOC-like and have a fifth possible answer in here, a minimum of. Maybe I randomize it. Alright, and then again, here's our previewed question. Looks like any standard question, but you've asked them to pick two. This is good too because the students need to learn how to read a question closely, whether it says choose one, choose two, choose three. Close. I'll close that. The other thing you can do is you can limit the selections down here as well, so they can only pick two, and they have to pick two. I also can put a partial credit system on here. Okay, so maybe tachycardia is the most likely, so it gets a 60% weight, and then the mitral valve prolapse gets a 40% weight. Otherwise, they're just both worth 50%. And again, I can preview that question. It's going to look very much the same. It's just now that it's a weighted question. The other thing is I could have just a, I'm sorry, let me do a feedback function with this. Let me go back. I'm going to actually make this the 50-50 question. Okay, they're each worth 100%, so they're both worth 0.5. I'm sorry, they'd both be worth 1 point because it's a 2-point question. Let me add a feedback. Let's say this hypertension is incorrect, and I want them to watch a video on the pathophysiology of blood pressure. I can copy and I can paste that. So let's say it's the wrong thing and you want them to go back and you want them to watch that video. And then I can do the same thing. I can watch a video for tachycardia. I can refer back to a page number in which they should be able to see it. I just caution you with page numbers and URLs is that these can change, and you may want to go back and check these periodically and make sure that they are in fact current. We also could have some sort of scenario and check all that apply. It's worth 4 points, right? we add more items, and this is whatever here. Maybe we have all these different options, and 4 of them are correct. Again, it's by default is automatically going to weight them 1 point each because it's going to split all 4 evenly. In that partial credit option here, or again, if I want to weight some of them higher than other ones, I can do that as well. But in this case, I'm just going to, they're all equal. I wanted you to check all that applied. So we can't put a negative function, we can't weight this as a negative amount where they get something wrong, but on the flip side, we can offer up enough options that if they select, when they took the question, they were to, select the wrong ones, maybe they even choose 5, or maybe they only chose 3 altogether. It's going to weight us up because it's expecting them to have 4 correct answers, and that you can only check that many. I forgot one thing here. I actually need to limit those selections so that they can only pick 4. So there's a way how you can have multiple answers within the multiple choice, and how you can use those differential diagnosis scenarios. We can add feedback. We can put a URL in there, something that leads the student back so that they're continuing their learning and adding to the depth and breadth of their learning through the scenario. So that concludes this part. We always end with a save. We'd save it, save all our works, and we'll move on to our next section.